We checking back in, man. AHumbleSoul. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already connected with us. And hit the like button, man, if you enjoy the video. It's greatly appreciated. Let's get into it, though. 100.
What's up? It's all gravy, baby. My earrings, some of you niggas cars. You know what I'm saying? Niggas Lexus. It's all some gravy. Niggas Benz. Another year. People. All the time. Ain't getting no beautiful than that. People. Another year, and I'm still ballin' on top. Flying in jets, get my cruise on in my yacht. I'm living large, I done brought wash your tone on.
Derrick, lay it down.
All right, lay it down.
Lay it down, lay it down. Lay it down, y'all lay it down. Fuck that, lay it down.
It don't make sense. If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. This ain't number 5, G. That's what it is, Derrick. Shit we gonna throw away. This ain't no we gonna throw away. This ain't number 5, G.
Before the world got officially introduced to the Hot Boys as a 4-man group, you know, comprised of Juvenile, BG, Lil Wayne, and Turk, there was a 5th member, you know, BG Derrick, or Bulletproof, or Lil Derrick. You know, he's the nephew of Birdman and Slim, 2 brothers who founded legendary record label Cash Money Records. His mother, Dorothy, is their sister.
My little nephew, he was thugging, bro. He was really thugging. I wanted to make him a hot boy, but he just was a little gangster.
Derrick left his mark early on, and he actually appeared on a handful of records that came out during the 90s on Cash Money, like BG's Chopper City album. He was on the song Represent. He was also on BG's It's All On You Volume 1, the song Spittin' Game off Juvenile Soldier Rags album, so on and so forth.
16 murked to me and my whole clique was dope. Transporting keys in the all black Camaro. 50 G's on the seat, laying next to my heat. I'm a high boy to the police, and I'm a thug on the street.
But unlike the other members, you know, he still dibbled and dabbled and played the streets. You know, he was flashy. He was always switching up whips and getting to a lot of money. You know, music was a passion, but hustling, it was his lifestyle. How was he, even outside the booth, just personality-wise?
Number 1 stunner.
Oh, he's a number 2 or another.
He probably was a number 1 stunner. He was way wilder than Baby, but he was with whatever. But like, you know, Derrick was young, riding around the Z06 and shit like that. Like, so he was getting it early. Like, they little crew, like Derrick, they, like their whole little squad, they was getting some real money. He was just, like, he was the attention of the room every time he came in the room. Like, you were gonna see Derrick no matter what. And he was young.
You know, one of the reasons it was said that things didn't work out with Cash Money for him is because not only did he play the streets a lot, he also was a bad influence on the other members, especially the younger ones like Turk or Lil Wayne. Some reports online saying that he was voted out of the group.
Because there were 5 of us at first. Baby, little nephew, BG Derrick, he dead, he got killed. And Wayne and BG kind of like voted him out, you feel me? BG Derrick used to kind of like be a bully to them. You know, I'm from the project, so but he used to be a bully, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of voted him out behind his back on some real G shit. Really, Wayne, you know what I'm saying? They probably ain't never talk about this shit, but they voted BG Derrick out, and Baby and them made him a solo artist. Cause all of us had took the picture at Penny Pexel for our Hot Boys album, and then they were like, damn, and Derrick ain't part of the Hot Boys. He was mad at the motherfucker. They made him a solo artist. But that was the Baby and them real nephew. It was 5 of us.
The 5th member of the Hot Boys, Lil Derrick.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an actual 5th member?
Yes, my little nephew. He was supposed to be the 4th member, but he was too violent, too wild. So they didn't want him in the group.
But Birdman revealed that his nephew was never actually kicked out of the group, but that, you know, it's just his love for the streets is what interfered with him being an official member of the Hot Boys.
Can't no nigga vote no nigga out. That's impossible. I ain't gonna let no nigga vote my blood out. That's my real blood. That's my sister child. That's my nephew. He was ahead of all them. He was living like that. He was like that. And I love him to death, but you know, him thugging like that cost him his life.
You know, New Orleans rapper Kayotic revealed during an interview that he actually had a conversation with Derrick about why he parted ways from Cash Money and never became an official member of the Hot Boys, you know. And he said that Derrick let him know that it was pretty much based around his issues with Lil Wayne.
Derrick was kind of like a problem kid, you know what I'm saying? Problem child, ADHD ass nigga, right? So he got put out the Hot Boys from fucking with Lil Wayne. You feel me? And Birdman gave him multiple chances. You know what I'm saying? To my knowledge. Was I there? No. But was I told these things out the hearse's mouth? Yeah. You feel me? So, you know, like I asked Derrick, I'm like, man, why you just ain't chill? He like, man, fuck all that, man. The last time Birdman told Derrick, like Derrick told me, Birdman told him, man, look, I'm telling you, Derrick, this your last time. This is your last time. Don't fuck with my son, especially when they recording. You feel me? So Derrick had a thing where when Wayne started recording, he go up there and go in the boot on the opposite side of Lil Wayne, because how the boots was, you feel me? They had glass boots, and it was facing each other, you feel me? And you step in this boot, he step in that boot, and y'all can see each other when y'all rapping, you dig? So times when Wayne would be rapping, doing his thing, Derrick would walk in the other boot and go to doing, you know, fucking with the man, you feel me? So nigga said Wayne went told him. Nigga said Birdman came back from out of town, and when he came back, you heard me, told Derrick, man, look, man, it's over with, you heard me? Like I told you, that was your last one, fucking with my son. You distracting him with his music, you feel me? You gotta go.
And he would later go on to sign with the independent label out of New Orleans called Smoked Out Records. And they ended up dropping their first project on Derrick, man, busting heads and getting paid back in 1999. And on that album, you know, Baby was featured, Lil Wayne was featured on there, as well as Turk. So although it may have been a riff here and there, it was still love, and Baby still supported his nephew. It said that, you know, the CEO of Smoked Out Records had to drop some racks, man, to get Baby and Lil Wayne on the project, though, you know, but that ended up leading to them selling, you know, a nice amount of units and getting a distribution deal. So it was a good look, man, a good investment for him. And, you know, that Smoked Out Records project was well received.
I got my cousin Deshaun, he the one who put BG Derrick out first, Smoked Out Records. Like me and the Derrick used to go at it rap-wise, because I used to have a lot of raps wrote, and he used to have a lot of fucking raps, bro. But he was sick. His wordplay was sick.
You know, around 2001, Derrick dropped a sophomore project on Smoked Out Records. It was called Done Did It. You know, that album was a little more star-studded. It featured not just Baby and Wayne and Turk, but Pimp C, Young Buck, and others. So things were continuing to look up for him. Derrick was continuing to gain momentum. But when the label CEO, Deshaun, got locked up, Smoked Out kind of fell apart, and Derrick, you know, decided to move on and link up with some homies, a dude by the name of Scory, and two other people, Butch and Chuck, Undisputed Records, up and coming artists at the time, Kayotic. You know, them two, him and Kayotic, you know, they ended up battling. They had a battle one time on a block in uptown New Orleans and another time in a studio. After that, they developed a respect and appreciation for one another and decided to do a joint project called Knockout under the group name Undisputed Champions, you know. So they did that joint project, man. Kayotic revealed in an interview that the same day that they battled, you know, an incident happened where BG Derrick ended up pulling his gun out on the owner of the studio and running him out because he voted against him. After they battled, you know, people in the room voted who they thought was the winner, and it was left down to the last person. I think his name was Vernon. And when he picked Kayotic as well as the winner, BG Derrick got upset, pulled out his gun, and chased him out his own studio. But it was that same night, man, that same day that Derrick left the studio, but ended up coming back around 40 minutes later, apologizing to everybody. And he chopped it up with Kayotic. They came to an agreement that they would do, you know, a project together, and ended up recording 9 songs that same night. They went on to record around 26 songs, nearly 30 songs for the project, and picked 14, the best 14 that they liked. So, you know, Derrick, he was still moving, man, on the path to possibly blow as a rapper, man. But he also still had a lot of ties to the streets, and he still made his money off hustling and things of that nature, man. That ultimately led to his demise. You know, his life came to a tragic end in his hometown of New Orleans on Halloween night of 2002. He was only 21 years old.
Police worked to figure out who shot a local rapper in the city.
A popular rapper was shot and killed overnight.
Investigators say someone fired a number of shots.
It's a local rapper who was just starting to make a serious mark on the music industry.
His best friend killed him. His best friend killed him and went to the funeral crying and cutting up. And it was his best friend who he used to ride around with and do all kind of. He was one. Hot Boy Derrick was one of the first ones in the city that had a little backpack with the money and all that in the city. But yeah, his best friend killed him.
I think it was. I actually think it was jealousy.
So you think somebody was jealous of him?
Yeah, I think nobody. You were jealous and didn't want to see him come up. And before you see him come up, you better see him buried.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Lil Derrick. He ended up, you know, getting murdered or whatever. That's baby Lil nephew. You know what I'm saying? Because it was originally gonna be 5 of us. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Derrick, you know, was wilding and you know doing his own thing and you dig. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just few things happened and you know, it just ain't work out right. But
you know, all in all, BG Derrick was gifted, a talented rapper, a hustler, and an uptown stunner. He was known as the #2 stunner, although some people say he was the original #1 stunner, you know, before Birdman. October 31st of 2002, his life was cut short at the age of 21. But people still keep his name alive. People still do interviews about him. His mother has written a book about him, so on and so forth, you know. Condolences to his family. Definitely a talented brother. Unfortunate to see how his life was cut short. Shout out to everybody tuning in, rocking with AHumbleSoul. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to support, man, check out the links in the description. Grab some merch, all of that. Until next time, I'ma holler at y'all 100.
Slim and B3, fresh order 20 keys, turn 10 over to me. The hot boy, and I'm